Love Talk Radio. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you'll be able to listen to the show.
Yeah, I'm here, whatever. Yeah, hey, how's it going?
You are now in the host queue.
We're just going to jump right into this because we're going to, we actually have a guest tonight, and our guest is actually our producer, Christian Enriquez, is our guest. Hey, what's up, guys? So we're going to go through the history of this. So if you're listening to us for the first time, this is Latino Rebels Radio, Charisse Delgadillo, and the fabulous Christian Enriquez, who is the guy that said, let's do this. Like, enough waiting, my friend. Just do it, and I will take care of this. So anyway, we're going to start from the very beginning, as they say in Southern music, because that's a very good place to start. That's my white musical reference of the night. So that I can check that one off. White Broadway musical reference. And Christian. I mean, we did a dry run on March 20th of 2004. And then we actually premiered the show on April 13th, 2004 with Not One More and I'll Say America's Borderland. So, let's start there. Like, what do you remember of a year ago? We're going to go through stats. We're going to talk about other things, talk about favorite shows and all that. But let's start at the beginning. Like, why, what do you think about those first couple of shows when we're talking about How to See America's Borderland?
I think we got extremely lucky to begin with that show. And it just happened to be, it was just like a perfect storm. We had our launch going on. We had that show also launching. It was pretty much that week. And then we were, again, lucky enough to be able to get the actual characters that were going to be in that reality show to come on our show. And what I remember about it is how real it was, man. How it really hit home for some of these people to have to walk the walk, as they say. And it was just super exciting to have that going on at the same time when we were launching the show. And it was just, again, perfect storm. Everything just happened to work out.
And we actually had our first, did we actually have our first hang-up?
Yeah, we actually had our first hang-up. And at the time, we had absolutely no idea what we were doing. I mean, with our first show, we just said, hey, let's see what happens. And we've definitely have evolved since then. But,
what do you mean first hang-up? Explain.
Someone hang-up. No, not like a hang-up. Like one of our guests literally hung up on us.
Oh, wow. Did you make them upset?
We made them cry a little bit.
But do you want to explain the story, Christian, as to why the characters from As the America's Borderland hung up on us?
I mean, that's kind of great to get into.
Yeah, I can explain. What was her name? I totally forget her name. Do you remember who that was?
I don't remember. Like, I'll find it out. I'm gonna go the one where you can start the story.
So one of the main people on this show was this girl who, right off the bat, she was like anti-immigration. She kept, she said things that were, that pretty much, she pretty much said, we don't want them here. They should leave. And right off the bat, a lot of people, not only us, but everywhere, like all over social media, people weren't too kind to her, and were lashing out at her. We asked her to come on because she said,
yeah, and her name,
she changed her
name is Kashana. Kashana Hoflat. What's her name? Kashana.
That's right. So she said, she had changed her mind. She said that she had changed her mind since being on the show. But when we got her on the show, again, it was the second time then. Right. Not much had changed. So, we pretty much, asked her the hard-hitting questions that she could have handled it on the phone.
Wow. Yeah. It was amazing live reading. It just showed. But that's what we started with. We started with no, it's true. It's true. We started with African American Portland. We talked a little bit about the Latinos becoming the next white sale, where Jamel Bowie now, the guy from Slate, brought me to Twitter because of it. Which is ridiculous. If you're going to be a columnist, you want to engage with people who are columnists. Well, the reason why is that they kind of called him out on this column that said, Latinos are the next white people. And just the pictures that they chose and what he wrote about them, it's just ridiculous. It's just a ridiculous column. But the one thing that we did it one night, and you have to understand, he's the one who's always said, well, I'm not an authority on Black America. So at one point, I'm like tweeting him, and I'm saying, I think you're just wrong. He goes, what makes you the authority on Latino America? And I'm like, nothing, but you're wrong. And he then said something, then tweeted something really, really ridiculously dumb, like really unprofessional. And he deleted it like a minute later. And I was this close to uncracking it. But anyway, so we did that. And then we moved to looking at other things. We're doing a recap. This is all TS, right, Christian? This is what I call pre-Cherise. So we're not, we're talking about
Thank you. That's very flattering.
yeah, oh yeah, no, and then we start. Welcome to the CM on GCM.
Huh?
But if you heard us for the last,
Hello?
the next. No, that was one of our favorite shows. It was just a good show. And then you brought on. And I think this is when Cherise starts joining us in early June. But then we juked about 3 or 4 Latinas in film and entertainment. Do you remember that show, Christian?
Oh, yeah, I think I'm shooting someone. I I think
I think I'm back. I was on mute for some minutes. Yeah, I remember that. And then we're doing that show. We're not early June. Yeah, we listen again. I feel like I'm in a Chris Farley. You remember, I feel like I'm doing Chris Farley. I was like, hey, remember when you were in the Beatles? Oh my gosh.
Hey, I'm kind of rooting with both of you.
For your first show?
Hello?
Hey, Khalil?
It looks like I'm the only one talking right now.
Can you
I
hear
can
me?
talk whenever I want to. This is Latino Rebels Radio, and both my guests are perhaps not radio. This is live radio. This is why we live on the edge. Try again. Fish, are you there? I'm here. Can you hear me now? Yes. Cherise, are you there?
I am here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we're here. Just answer the question. No, it's the first. No, you're not.
I can't hear the question.
All right, we're we're talking about the year. We've been doing here. I'm sure some stats down the road. That one of the shows probably in early by recover.
Hey.
Check.
Hi.
Yeah, you're back. Hello. Yeah, you jump in anytime.
I can't hear what you're saying. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, what was the question? Because I don't hear you. You get cut off. I'm sorry.
Minutes. And keep doing and keep talking about this for the next 47 minutes because I got nothing else to do. This is what it's going to be. What else can you do? That's what you do. You have to continue on with the show. There's just so much I'm on. Can you hear me? Yes, I can. I don't know why I'm losing the two of you guys. I don't know either. I just called in from the landline, so hopefully that works. You sound great. Now, alright, so I've been kind of filling it in for the last 3 minutes with riveting radio, trying to figure out where you guys are. But talk about, since I've been talking, talk about remember those shows when we had talk about some mayors, we're not late to it now. I don't know. But they talk about it. I don't. Yeah, so Morineta was a town where I guess the last year we have a wave of child immigrants from Morineta was a town where some of these children were going to be and were going to be staying. That town was nuts. There was protests going on. There were people blocking the buses with the children in it. So some anti-immigration protesters going there just going on. Right. They decided, the pro
immigration process started to come in. And well, next thing you know, it's all over the news. It's nationwide. It's a big story. And they claim we're not racist, but yet everything that officials were saying was, to the opposite. So, hey, what's there behind it? So we wanted to get the official side of the story. So we got the vice mayor at the time. We got him on. Email. Right? He wanted to come on and explain that side of the story again. So we had him on, and I mean, I think you went one-on-one with him for a while, so I think you can explain that part better.
Oh no, I can. I mean, I talk to a lot of people when I ask for questions, and I really try to get the people the benefit of the doubt. But when the guy was straight up lying, like he was straight up lying, that's when I kind of felt it was my obligation to, really challenge him. And he wouldn't let it go. I mean, I gotta give the guy credit. He stayed on with us live for a half hour. But all the other walking then. Yeah, no, it was obvious that he was trying to paint a picture of what he ended up, that the town was saying one thing, and then all the official documents and everything that they were saying was completely different. And we called, and I don't know if I called him out on it, but I did say, but what about these documents from the mayor saying that you're afraid of these kids bringing disease? So like, no, we're not afraid of these kids bringing disease. And I'm like, well, why are there frequently asked questions about diseases on your official town website? And it was crazy. I don't know if it was my proudest moment of Latino Rebels Radio, but now that I think about it, it was actually, I just didn't believe. I felt he was trying to pull a fast one on me. So I got very,
definitely putting all the talking points that he was told to use, you know what I mean? And again, like you're saying, trying to kind of paint Marietta in a whole, in a different light when, dude, you're not only your official benefits, but on your official website. It's not what, you're not this clean cut town. You have issues. Right? Own up to it. Right? You wouldn't.
yeah, like, at least just admit it and say, yeah, we did that as opposed to like, no, we didn't. And I'm like, I'm reading from your actual town page. This is not me making stuff up. You know what I'm saying? That's where I kind of lost it. But anyway, you want to check, is this Sharice calling back in? On the bottom there?
Let me check who's on. Hold on, right?
Yeah, alright. But Chris, if you can check who's on. I'm going to try to give you guys some, while he's doing that, I'm trying to give you guys some overall, how many we've done, how many people have listened to us, and all that other good stuff. I'm looking at sort of, our back office. Our back office. And we've gotten close. That's kind of cool. Because our most popular show ever. Chris, do you remember our most popular show?
You asked me this question. And I can't remember it. I thought it was Marietta, but I know it wasn't. I know it wasn't that one.
No.
Okay, I know. The racist landlord lady, or real estate lady.
The realtor. flag flying.
Right. Another one that we called out, and we're still waiting on that apology video that she's supposed to be made. We're still waiting on it.
Yeah, she was supposed to make an apology video. If you guys don't remember, it's actually on Stretchy Caps. And it was supposed to turn into, it was only going to be like 20 minutes. And then it became an hour. And I interviewed her. And whoever her friend was, the friend was a lawyer. I don't know what the friend was doing there, but that was my own deal. Yeah, the muscle was on. And it was a bizarre interview because I think at one point I said, hey, I just took a picture of this really huge Irish flag in the middle of like Rose Wharf in Boston, like which is a building. It's humongous. It's like, 150 feet long. You want the address to that so you can come and tell them and take that down? It's like she just didn't know how to answer. And yeah, but the thing is, she did say she was gonna do an apology video. She's so right. And I don't think we've ever seen one. Have we ever seen one? No, so anyway, that episode by far was our most popular one. And that happened in late September. But before that, we had this amazing conversation. Oh, who did we have that with? The Hispanic Heritage Month ads. That was with Michael. I believe that's with Cesar Vargas and some other people. And that was fun. That was a fun episode. That happened like late September. Then Tracy. And then we had some interesting stories, which you always loved, our Latinos done with Obama. Because, that's something that we always talk about, Christian. So, do you think Latinos are done with Obama? Do you think, let's stop there, because that was a good show. I forget who we had on. And I can always click and sound like I know what I'm doing, but I really don't want to do that. But let's talk about politics. Let's talk about our Latinos done with Obama. So you know what, talk to me about Hillary Clinton for a minute. What do you think? I mean, do you think that you share your opinion first, and I'll keep mine. Okay, well, Hillary Clinton, right? She's running for president, right? Everybody's all excited. Let's jump on that bandwagon. Lest we forget, there's a back. Back in 2014, remember when the whole immigrant cow wave was coming in again? He was actually interviewed by CNN, and that's exactly right. There's a back. He sounded like a Morieta protester. My question is he going to continue to be is she the next voter in chief? She got to learn, Listen, do we have Sharice back on? Did we figure this out? Sharice, you want to take the answer?
I can hear you now.
All right, well, listen. We basically have talked about every show without you. You remember your first show?
Okay, let's come back. Yes, I do remember my first show.
What was it?
It was when I covered the Trail for Humanity. That was 300 plus mile march from the Bay Area down to the Tijuana border with a group of protesters led by women and children who were protesting the unaccompanied minors from Central America that were being deported back to Central America once they came across the border. And that was it. And we had the founder of the Trail for Humanity, Valentina Casayera, as the interview, the person who we interviewed. So that was my first contribution, yeah. And so I remember I led the march for the last leg of the march from Los Angeles, Julieta, down to San Diego, down to the Tijuana, U.S. Tijuana border. So that's what we had on. And that's when it got good. So, you know.
Oh, that was when you're keeping, that would be, yeah, that would be August 17th, 2014 would be when it really all began for us.
When it really all began, yes. So that was my first exhibition. I was really excited, because I had remembered that, Latino Rebels was doing summer sports out of Julieta. And I was all like, well, I'm over here on the West Coast, let me help you guys out. So that's awesome.
No, you do. And the irony is, to bring it back to Hillary, she probably wants those kids back anyway. She'd bring them back. Right?
What a lot of them were deported back anyways, without lawyers. Can't throw their minors. Yeah. Well, that's probably happened. The same thing would probably happen.
America. No, America. Yeah, I can't even begin to start thinking about the 2016 election, but I'm already having my strong feelings about how Latinos are aligning themselves to the Clinton campaign without really understanding the things that she said in the last couple of years. And that's just, anyway, we're actually you're listening to Latino Rebels Radio. We're trying to recap our year. I think we fixed all the technical issues. I think Sharice put aluminum foil off her landline, and Christian's out in Arizona, and he played it up to the stars. And, I'm in my studio here in Boston, and I had to talk to myself a lot, but I think we're all good. And the year that I have
That's not a problem for you.
No, I totally do that normally. This is nothing new. This is nothing new for me. Alright, so we're coming at the beginning of October, and I'm trying to see what other shows the one that we brought out. Oh yeah, we did a little bit on when we brought us tea, right? That was kind of in November.
Yes.
I like that show a lot because I like when we have smart guests and then all we do is sit back and let them talk. As opposed to what I'm doing now where I'm like, okay, we have 33 minutes. So Sharice, what did you think about that show with us today? And that happened right after the president announced the executive order that no one's paying attention to now.
Yes.
Well, what'd you get out of that?
I really like the Street interview because I'm guessing a lot of people thought that she was a pawn in the bigger political game with the Democratic Party and the elections that were happening at that time with Congress. And so it was really good to hear Street's point of view of how she felt being mentioned in this epic speech from President Obama, where she didn't even know that she was going to get mentioned in his speech. And she really gave an awesome interview point of view about how she felt.
Hi, this is Christian with Latino Rebels. Who am I speaking with?
The loyal caller, Jonathan Ayala. Happy first anniversary.
Jonathan, you want to wish us happy anniversary?
Yep.
Alright, man. Stand by, okay?
Yep.
From herself, instead of thinking that she's just this pawn, no, she is an independent thinker, that she's still a critical thinker, she's still doing amazing things for our community.
All right, listen, before we move on, we're at the bottom of the hour of Latino Rebels Radio recapping the year. And how could a recap of the year not truly be a recap of the year if you didn't have the guy that called us every week? The most loyal listener of Latino Rebels Radio. The most loyal listener of Latino Rebels Radio, Jonathan Ayala, has called in.
Hello, Sharice.
question for you.
Yeah.
What was your favorite Latino Rebels radio show this year?
Wow, there was a few. You've already talked about Marietta, but you haven't talked about. I think it was the week of the movie that came out called Paramenti Elegantamente from for La Camay, and you had Hector Travieso's son, and it went from interesting to real controversial real quick. I think you know. Yeah, yeah, the one about La Camay because that was.
One of my finest moments, but maybe
It wasn't. I think
give me another one.
Morieta and every time you call me and I just rage about some Republican stuff because some of those times I went like, oh my God, this Ted Cruz is an asshole, and oh my God, and then yep.
You are just our most loyal listener, John Ayala. I love you a lot.
All right.
My friend. We'll talk to you soon. Abrazos.
Abrazos, man.
Guy calls every week. Every week. How late is that? No, I tried to. It's like he messaged me and he's listening right now. He messaged me when we did have a couple of shows. You know, we took a couple of weeks off, and he was like, "Dude, what's up?" Sunday night at 10. Like, not everyone watches Mad Men or Game of Thrones. Just saying.
Thank you.
Right. Just checking the emails. The emails have come in. Nothing. That was not an email. Alright, so we're talking. Yeah, we're talking. Oh, okay, so let's see. I'm looking at some other shows.
Yeah, which one I liked? You know which one I liked? And it was a really funny one was the Foundering Heritage Month. When we were seeing all the bogus signs of all these major multimedia corporations trying to cater to Latinos. And we had a guest on, and we just were laughing at so many silly advertisements that we saw. And it was just ridiculous. And I thought that was great. I really liked that show.
That was a good one. Then, I know, then we started the year, and then we saw a lot of Yellow. I remember that one. The satire one?
That's weird.
Do you remember that one?
Charlie Tebow. That was an awesome discussion and a very well, that was a good point of view from a satire on a very controversial issue that was happening at the time with Charlie Tebow.
Yeah, he kept it real. And this was the time that, this beginning of the year. Then the next one was Rakomai, which, again, it was just a bizarre conversation, but it happened. And
How'd you feel about the critique? How'd you feel about the critique?
The critique of what?
People who critique you, actually, for that interview.
It's my show. I can do whatever the hell I want.
You're like, there's what's not here. What? You got to stop the pin. Enough for me.
No, I'm totally kidding you. The critiques about not catching that documentary. Well, no, I told the guy straight up. It's like, I'm not paying you money to catch it. Let me see it for free. And I'll give you my take on it. But I was being honest. I saw the trailer and I was bored to bits. You saw the documentary. You thought it was.
Yeah,
you fell asleep.
I fell asleep. It was bad. It was really.
It's like if you really want to. It's like if you have insomnia, watch The Return of Lakomai. And there you go. Just to make a filmmaker. I mean, Sharice is a filmmaker herself, and that put her to sleep. Imagine how bad it could be.
Yeah, there's nothing dynamic about it.
No, but here's the thing. You just need to understand about when that was done. Right, so promoting, and if you went, because they couldn't distribute it on the island, and if you went to this page and paid him $3, then you could watch the show. And I really felt strongly that I wasn't going to have him come on the show and be like, hey, come to my site, pay me $3. My sense is like, why are you coming out with the movie in the first place? Why do you need to come out with the movie?
Correct.
I had like
fundraising effort.
Problems. Yeah, I had more thoughts on. I mean, I like the guy for coming out there, but it's the host's son. It's like if I did a movie about my dad, I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not buying it, dude.
It's biased. Yeah.
It's like you can talk about being balanced and everything, but it's like your dad is in the show. He goes, "We'll see the documentary." It's like I don't need to see the documentary because it's your dad. So maybe that's just me. And he questioned my journalism. I get questioned about my journalism all the time. What do you do? What can you do? Do it. I'm like, whatever. Alright, so yeah, we just do this big money. Yeah, we're just rolling into Benjamin right now. We're just doing it. We care. Yeah, it's like because we're totally doing this for the money. Like whatever that is, because I haven't seen it. It's like crazy. But then, alright, I really do want to talk about my all-time favorite show of the year.
Okay.
I thought there's actually two shows that really made me feel that we have moments, and anyone that's listening to us would realize that we would make a really awesome little podcast, right? If you're in the Latino world, and we're live, we kind of a little bit flexible. We kind of pick stories that are under the ground, or we're close, very close. But my favorite show, in terms of radio as well, was February 15th, 2015, when we brought out the leaders of Latino for the Pasco shooting death of Antonio Zambrano Montes. When we had Felix Vargas.
That was exactly
what I
was thinking of.
Yeah.
That was amazing. I mean, that was, my mouth was, I was without words with all the information. And really worried people. It was just amazing to hear them talk about, how they were organizing.
Right. And they were like, I'm sorry, Julio. If I remember correctly, because it was before the whole Black Lives Matter thing was going on, right? Yeah, it was starting to happen. Black Lives Matter was happening, but this was a story that was not really getting attention. And we were the first to have these voices talk to other people. It was very contained locally. And we were the first interview to talk to these leaders. And within 48 hours, their comments were being picked up. They were being covered by other outlets. But we were the first interview of record. And to me, that of all the interviews I've done for Latino Rebels Radio, that to me was like our shining moment. That was our newsroom. I'm like, okay, I get this. Like I wasn't yelling at somebody at the mayor, and I feel good. Puerto Rican filmmaker who is questioning my journalistic capabilities because I didn't watch his crappy documentary. Sorry, dude.
Those were, I think like 4 guests on for that segment.
Yeah, we had 4 guests. You were on.
Yeah.
I think Christian was worried about being, the baby was coming. So I know, I do remember it because Christian was on, and I was like, Christian, how do I talk to people without getting them on the radio? No, seriously, I had to go off, and I'm like, remember that? It's like, serious, I'm like, keep talking to them because I don't even know who's coming on. And I felt like, wow, Christian does a really good job. It makes it so seamless.
Right.
And all this other good stuff. If anyone wants to call in, if you're listening, We got about 20 minutes left. We're going to finish wrapping up. If you do want to call in, call us in at, okay, this is my radio voice, ready? Call us in at 347-308-8633. That's 347-308-8633. Tweet us at Latino Rebels, if you'd like. And let's talk a little bit about, in my radio voice, radio voice.
What's the radio voice?
Can you give me a second?
Okay.
What, you making fun of me?
Yeah.
Give him his moment. No, that's safe.
I can tell you what show. Yeah.
Was that your radio voice?
This is my radio voice. Hello. I don't know.
I said, this is my radio voice. Oh, this is mine. It's like 347-308-8633. 347-308-8633.
I can tell you which was not one of my favorite shows.
Which one?
When you guys are covering the Super Bowl, because I think I just stayed on the line quiet for 45 minutes.
No, then we
no idea what you guys were talking about.
I totally appropriate voices that way.
Totally appropriate. What we're talking about,
We're totally being sexist. We're totally being sexist like the first half.
Incredibly awesomely sexist show.
I take care of my peeps. Come on, man.
Yeah, it was with us and Wendy, the awesome Wendy Carrillo.
She's amazing.
Talk about that you brought on to talk about Latino Barley. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, okay, so we're kind of middle of February. Oh, and then we have a couple of really cool shows. Like the last couple of shows, I have to say, are really fantastic. So on March 1st, we had Juan Escalante talking about immigration reform. That was great. Then we had, on the 8th of March, we had Matthew Colkin, who wrote the fantastic piece for Latino Rebels about the fact that DACA and DAPA eligible individuals are still getting deported. And he lays out this amazing case. And actually, you know, when you have a writes it in incredible layman's terms, and kind of speaking the truth about the Obama administration. But no one really wants to sort of address that, because it's now Viva Hillary. You know, Viva Hillary. But Christian, I think one takeaway from this entire year, and I want to hear what you think about when it comes to immigration, we've really been, I don't see any Republicans are evil on immigration shows. As much as I see what's up with Democrats and the Obama administration continuing to follow a policy that deports a record number of individuals and then says, you know, si se puede, let's pass immigration. That's been a theme of the year. I mean, wouldn't you think so?
Yeah, I mean, you're right, you haven't seen that yet, but it's still pretty early in the race, and we're just getting candidates out right now. It'd be interesting, now that there's a female running for president, how nasty it's going to get.
Let's ask our resident. Let's ask our resident team. Let's ask our resident woman. What do you think about Hillary? Trees.
You know, I mean, I just think that, like, politics is politics in general. And they're all going to climb onto the same cookie-cutter platform, if you ask me to be so blunt. So, you know, it's just a matter of, I think, you know, when we're coming from, you know, the United States, you know, that has such a history of, you know, racism and sexism and, you know, gender equality, that, you know, people just get flabbergasted, you know, if she gets elected, oh, we have a first woman president just for the sake of having a woman, but I don't think that's necessarily going to, like, impact any policy, because she's just going to step into place. She's just going to step into the same platform that's already been set up by the Democratic Party. So, you know, it's going to be the same thing. You know, so that's just what I think of, you know, the two-party system in general. It doesn't matter, you know, what race or gender. It just kind of adds a certain kind of a flag to it, you know, that might be more relatable to today's generation, but, you know, it's still two-party system platform is set up the way it is. So it's not, I'm not, we're not going to see like huge reforms, that are going to ease the country's illnesses that have been existing since, this country got developed. I don't think that we're going to see huge differences at all from the Obama administration.
Christian, what are your thoughts? Well, yeah, I mean, the Obama administration for sure. I mean, he's on his way out. He doesn't care anymore. He's working on the pardon. He's working on the pardon right now. That's his concern, I think. Working on the pardon and what's my next Hollywood? What Hollywood studio am I working for when I leave?
Oh boy.
This is the next thing. I don't know. I mean, it's really hurting.
Not Sony.
Yeah, not Sony. Not Sony. If you want to get hacked, go to Sony. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it'll be interesting. It's still early. We'll see what the real issues that they're going to stand, the candidates are going to stay behind on are going to be. Right, and see, it'll be exciting. I mean, I hope we can do a little bit of some political coverage and actually have people that speak on the campaigns. Although I don't think Ted Cruz will ever agree, or his people agree to talk to us. Just because I don't think that since they're all Canadian, that they don't like talking to Americans. That's my thought. Surely, it's born in Canada.
Canadians out there.
No, it's born in Canada. Born in Canada. Ted Cruz was born in Canada. Let's talk about those two guys. You got Ted Cruz and Rubio also throwing in their hat. Yeah, that'll be interesting. It's interesting, but what's interesting about all that is the narrative that they're spinning of their family history. They're trying to sort of perpetuate, continue with the myth of the family fleeing Cuba. Now, what people tend to forget is that Rubio's family actually fled Cuba before Castro was in power. Small little detail. And the other thing that people forget is that Cruz's dad had a visa to go study in the United States, but he couldn't get out of Cuba, so one of his dad's friends, or a friend of the family, paid off a official of the Bautista government so that Rafa Cruz could leave Cuba. And I'm saying to myself, isn't bribery against the law? So it's interesting. And the other thing is I just don't know if I think the Cuban myth and the Cuban narrative about the striving immigrant fleeing communism, I think it's done, man. I think Latinos in the United States are kind of what I'm saying? I don't think it has appeal anymore, or wide appeal. It's probably a better way. It has appeal. People have a hard time accepting that one because they're not. It's not. I mean, because of the whole. If you land on dry ground, you're in. Where you got thousands and thousands of immigrants literally just south of the border doing the same thing, and they're not getting that exception. And some can argue they're going through just about that. It's just the same as bad of a situation down there. Right, exactly. And you would think that's a diminish what's going on in Cuba. I mean, that situation is horrible too, but I don't know if it's the same. Right, I agree. But you would think that those type of politicians would be a little bit more open to the plight of others. That's just me. I mean, what else can you say? Sharice, what do you think? I mean, do you think these two Cuban American Republicans have any appeal with, say, conservative Mexican Americans in the Southwest in California?
Probably not as much as they would be used, manipulated by white conservatives to try to market to them, but I don't think it would. I don't think so. I'm not exactly sure. I think that there's kind of a disconnect, and yeah, I don't really think he would do a great job of appealing. He might get some support, but I don't think it would. I don't think it would be the story.
Yeah, no. I would think if there was a Mexican American conservative senator, right?
Yeah.
That they would have more appeal. But those aren't there. I mean, you have Brian Sandoval, who's governor of Nevada, and you have Susana Martinez. But I'm talking like hardcore Texas, California,
but there's a
Mexican American Republican, of which there's probably like 6 of them.
I think because there's such a growing contingency of Mexican American Democrats, out here in the Southwest. That I don't think that there would be too much lobbying against them, to be quite honest. I don't think that they would. Yeah.
Well, thanks, sir. All right, so we got a couple minutes left. We're almost at the end of a couple of good shows. Oh, the other show that happened actually a month ago when we talked about Ragnar Figueroa, Univision, the Planet of the Apes comic.
Oh my God!
We had Cesar Vargas, and then we talked about the real quesadilla segment, Bale, and we had Rosa Blair. What's interesting is nothing's really come out of that real quesadilla sale. Like, it's almost like, whatever. Like, no one... a lot of these things go away. And although I'm kind of excited that we actually talk about them and rag about them. But I thought that was a really good conversation. And then March 22nd, the Caravana 2015 show, where we actually had, we did talk about it on Yosinapani Wala before, but this was a great interview because it was like Spanish, and then whoever was volunteering as the translator, I'm like, dude, you need to like go do this for a living. She was fantastic.
Yeah, she was a documentary. She was a photo documentarian that has been with the caravan since Mexico. She's like from Iowa. She was like from Iowa too.
I know. Like,
yeah, awesome. Yeah, that was a really impactful. I think that really got to the core. But when you hear from the horse's mouth, when you hear someone that has survived, that lived through the massacre and survived it, travel all the way from Mexico and the United States, you get interviews. I mean, it's impactful. You can't deny. You can't deny it when you hear it from someone who lived that experience.
Right. And then finally, we did last week. You were away, Cherise, with family, but I spent an hour with Nelson A. Dennis, who was the author of Oregon's All Puerto Ricans. And we're probably going to bring him on again because we barely scratched the surface. But that was a really, really, really fun interview because he had so much to share, and it was just a great conversation. I got a lot of kudos for that one. So.
And that was focused on. Okay.
So you don't really listen to the shows we do when you're not on them? Is that what you're saying?
I usually do. Okay, my family. I have like 6 people from Mexico in my house. Okay,
you mark this down. My co-host doesn't listen to the show when she's doing her on-rail. It's going in her bio. Yeah, I get it. Not what's going in his mouth. What's War Against All Puerto Ricans about, and what is it about? What's that about? Is that about something? Oh, Cherise, we love you. We're just giving you crap.
Can I just kill it right now?
Oh, dude.
Can I just kill a year's worth of my good reputation and kill it for myself?
No. Actually, listen to it. I hope you do catch it in your car or something. It was I thought Nelson just shared so much that I was like, we could have talked for another 2 hours. It was really interesting. And the book's doing really well, so I'm very happy for him. Alright, so we got 5 minutes. So Christian, where are we gonna go next? Like, what do we want to talk to?
Yeah, definitely. Like, if you could do, I was gonna say you brought up a good campaign, a good idea with the campaign coming up, and we're definitely gonna reach out, I think, to those people involved in campaigns. With the Hillary, and we'll reach out to Ted Cruz. They say no, but at least we tried. We want to hear everybody's side of it, so we'll give everybody a chance. But we'll also keep in mind, if you want to come on our show, we will hold you accountable for what you say. So, don't think it's just going to be talking points in your time. As far as what's up for the future, the sky's the limit, man. We've proved it in a year that that this is a great show, a great opportunity for us to reach out to our Facebook family as well and continue the conversation. When we got over 10,000 listeners in a year, that's huge. Hopefully we can triple that. That's always the limit.
You know what? I think we need a theme song, like one that's like just for Latino Rebels.
So find someone to do it for. Seriously? Really?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know if that no. Was that again?
Sing it again?
Yeah, do it, please.
Latino Rebels Radio. You like that, huh? I think you do. I think you're gonna do it. Watch.
Oh, boy. And there's a reason why, we'll think about the music, but we will close with Venas Abiertas by La Plebe. But the one reason why you guys know the reason why I chose that song. Yes? No? You want to know?
Explain.
Well, yeah, I know. I kind of get it.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead. That because it actually goes with the passing of the author who wrote Venas Abiertas de Latinoamérica, which is, open veins of Latin America, and that would be Eduardo Galeano, who died last Monday, right? So that is a Mercedes Sosa song of the 70s, based off of Galeano's book, which basically talks about the open veins of Latin America, the open veins of exploitation, and 500 years of history by destruction. And that's what Latin America thought. It was a defining book in 1971 or 1971. Open veins of Latin America. So Venas Abiertas is a remake of the Mercedes Sosa song, and it is perhaps it's one of my favorite books, one of my favorite songs, and that's why we close it. And the other thing is, La Plebe, when we emailed them, they were like, "Have them on, love you guys." Yeah, they were like, "We need to get La Plebe on and be like, let's talk with La Plebe. It's been a year, they let us borrow their song, and we haven't had them on. We gotta have them on." We've been so nice. So anyway, Christian and Sharita. We're going to be closing out with Venas Abiertas by La Plebe. Buenas noches. We are out of here, and this is Latino Rebels Radio. We're 1 year pro. 1 year. 1 year. Hablamos de rebelde.
anymore.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.